No. Okay. Hey guys, it's T. And today I'm going to be talking to you guys. Watch the doorbell ring. Watch it ring. Okay. So after all those interruptions, and I'm hoping I don't get any more. Actually, I'm just going to turn my phone on silence. Yes. So today I wanted to talk about this subject because it's just been irritating my soul because I've seen it so much in the last like 2 weeks and I just don't understand it. Oh, and by the way, today I'm drinking Earl Grey today as usual. It's my go-to tea for right now. So yeah, I want to talk to you guys about hair typing. In brief, hair typing is a system that is used to classify hair, not just kinky, curly types of hair, but all hair. And as far as I've been able to find on the internet, there are essentially two main hair typing systems. One was created by a man named Andre Walker. But anyway, he created this hair typing system to help classify hair. And then later on there was a hair system created by, I believe, naturallycurly.com, and I think that typing system is referred to as the Lois system, L-O-I-S. So I will leave the links so that you guys can see that below if you haven't already. So they're basically 4 different variations of hair from straight to kinky, and I believe that goes from like 1A, B, C to 4A, B, C. So now that we're at a stage where you know, natural hair is sort of the in thing, companies are using this typing method to market products towards women. So you'll often see products that claim that they're ideal for 4B hair, 4C hair, or for a range even from, let's say, 4A to 4C. So what I see a lot of is that hair typing is supposed to be like a basis for a woman understanding her newly natural hair, assumed newly natural hair. So now that I've given you the facts, let's talk about what I think about hair typing. I think it's very divisive and it's also super subjective. I've seen profiles done on some very beautiful women with very beautiful hair, but they, for example, will say that they have 3C hair, and it's clearly not that. I understand the basic need or want to be able to find another person who has a similar curl pattern to yours. But what I don't understand is why so many women believe that that is going to help you then figure out how to, or learn how to take care of your hair. There's so many other variables to our hair that are much more useful for A, understanding your hair, and B, identifying the products and the processes that are going to help your hair become healthy or stay healthy and grow, which is, I guess, what we all want. I think that it also emphasizes one curl pattern type over the other. I think especially on YouTube, you're seeing and hearing a lot of the glorification of like the 3B, 3C kind of curl. You have a lot of women who have one type of hair and are trying to achieve another type of hair. And I'm not sure where that stems from. Like, you have to be realistic about the hair that's on your head. You can't have 4C hair thinking that a product is going to deliver you 3C curls. Like, that's not going to happen. That's not realistic. And I'm not sure if that's somewhere deep down some women are not happy with their curl pattern, or really believing that natural hair is some catch-all thing, like that you can do literally any, or not that you can't do anything with it, but that you can make it look like anything at any given point, at any given day, with products or a particular regimen. Like that I don't understand. Not everybody is going to have a quote-unquote curl pattern, like, and you have to just accept that. There's no product on the earth that is going to give you curl, like, if you don't have it. All of these products can do is define the curl pattern that you actually have. They don't make a curl pattern. I don't understand that. So when I see a lot of these women asking, oh, well, can you help me figure out my hair type? My first question is why? Why do you feel like you need to know what your hair type is? That is not going to deliver you information on hair care. It is not going to solve your moisture problems. I mean, no two people have the same curl pattern, for one. Like I just mentioned, it's subjective. So I might say I have, or I believe I have, a 4A curl pattern when it's really more like 4C. And there's nothing wrong with that, but own what you have. So then it literally is only telling you the shape of your curl. And I just, again, I'm reiterating, I don't understand why women feel that that is giving you sufficient information on how to take care of your hair. So with that said, just because your hair looks like someone else's, it doesn't mean that your hair will respond to products or regimens similarly. And so I just want to get into some of the things that these hair typing systems do not take into account. So for one, number one is porosity. You could have two people that have the same curl pattern but completely different porosity. Porosity is how easily your hair absorbs and also maintains water. So you could have two people that have the same curl pattern but completely different porosity. And because of that, one product will work for one of them but not for the other. And this is an example of why hair typing is not going to show you how to take care of your hair. Number two, strand size, which is basically the thickness of an individual strand of hair. So again, you could have two women or two people, because it could be a man. So you could have two people who have the same curl pattern, but one has fine strands and the other has thick strands. So an example of how a particular product might not work for one of those persons and would work for another is a person with fine strand hair, or stranded hair, or I don't know, with fine hair would probably not want to use butters or a lot of butters at all, because butters are thick and heavy and they tend to weigh down your hair if your hair is fine. On the other hand, a person with thick individual strands of hair would likely benefit from using butters and thicker products, because their hair can stand up to the heaviness of those types of products. So that's an example of how knowing your strand size is important and how these hair typing systems do not deliver that type of information. The third one is density. Okay, so density gets into how closely those individual strands are packed together. So again, you could have two persons with the same curl pattern, but one has more density than the other. So if I just take my fingers, and I mean, this is exaggerated obviously, but one has hair that's not as dense and their individual strands are spread apart, obviously products are not going to work the same for this person as they do for a person whose individual strands are packed very close together. That means this person has a lot more hair than this person, even though the curl pattern is the same. So the needs are going to be different based upon the density of your hair. And again, these hair typing systems don't allude to that type of information. So this is why the curl pattern, knowing your curl pattern, is probably the least helpful in terms of caring for your hair or choosing products to add to your regimen. Yeah, like I said, I just really don't understand it. And I would love for someone to help me understand what exactly you get from applying a number and a letter to your hair, other than looking at another woman or a man and saying her or his or her hair looks like mine, so I'm going to do what he or she does with their hair and hope it works with mine. You cannot get out of the trial and error of learning your hair. You just can't. Everybody's hair is different. Everybody has multiple textures of hair, and you just cannot, there's no cheat code to this. You cannot cheat your way out of the trial and error process. Like, I get a lot of questions about what type of hair I have. I don't know. I don't care, and I just don't know. And I'm never going to sit and look at a chart of drawn hair strands to try to determine how my hair fits in that. And what if you have something that's a blend of two? Then where do you sit? Where do you fall? What information do you take from that? I don't get it. And I wish women would let it go. Like, I really wish women would let it go and talk about things that are actually going to give you pertinent information to know your hair better. All any of us can do on YouTube or in the streets is tell you what works for our hair and what we like about certain products based on how it worked on our hair from our experience. And that doesn't mean that your experience with those products and with those regimens is going to be the same. You have to take all of that with a grain of salt. The questions that we should be asking, if you want to know, if you want to be able to compare apples and apples with another person regarding their hair type, is what is your porosity? What is the density of your hair? What is the thickness of your hair? Let's start there instead of what number and letter do you think applies to your hair. That's not a fact. It's totally subjective. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who see and hear women every day talk about how they had 3B and 3C hair. I mean, no shade. You just gotta own what you got. Own what you got and figure out how to make it healthy, how to keep it healthy if it's already healthy, how to have it thrive, and stop getting caught up in 4A, 4C, 3B, 4Z, whatever it is that they make up today and tomorrow. Figure out what works for your hair. I'm pretty sure there's people out here using stuff that works for 3B and 3A hair, but it works for them. There's nothing that a letter and a number is going to do for you other than make you feel good about yourself if it's the one you wanted. And if we're being totally real, it's a lot of women out here who are crossing their fingers and hoping and wishing and praying for 3C hair that don't want to accept 4C hair or 4B hair or whatever it is. Own what you got. Be happy with the kink that you got. Be happy with the curl that you got, because there's so many people out there that want what you have. And that's a lesson that many of us have to learn. This going natural and all that other kind of stuff, it's a lot of women out here walking around with natural hair, but your mind's still processed. Your mind is still focused on a certain type of hair. You think a certain kind of hair is good. That's why all across YouTube you get these YouTubers who every day are getting a, what are you mixed with? I'm just saying. Why we always got to be mixed with something? Because we got curly hair? Because our hair long? So let me know what you guys think. What do you think about these hair typing systems? What do you feel like you get out of knowing your particular hair type? How has it helped you get to know your hair? How hasn't it helped you? What have you learned about your hair or other people's hair? Just talk to me in the comment section. And yeah, I'm just hoping I don't see any more women asking people to help them figure out what the hair type is. I know that that is a lofty expectation or goal for me to have. Until next time, guys, and hopefully I will have another tea chats, or not tea chats, another tea time subject matter to talk about with you guys soon. Bye.